Brazil is home to the largest Japanese community outside of Japan, and São Paulo's Liberdade neighbourhood is its main symbol. Today it's one of São Paulo's most popular tourist attractions, with its Japanese-style decorations, top-notch East Asian food, and karaoke bars. But Liberdade as a district used to look very different. In fact, though many locals don't even know it, Liberdade has a rich African heritage and a deep relationship with Black Brazilian history. It's located close to São Paulo's historic centre, where, way back when, Jesuit priest José Anchieta founded the village that would grow into the Southern Hemisphere's largest city. In the 17th century, Liberdade was known as Bairro da Pólvora, or the Gunpowder District. It served as a link between São Paulo's centre and the then neighbouring city of Santo Amaro. The main square was called the Largo da Forca, or the Gallows Square, being a common site for public executions. In 1821, a black army officer was sentenced to death for leading an uprising in protest of delayed salaries. Francisco José das Chagas, or Chaguinha, was a freedman, as slavery was only abolished in Brazil in 1888. The army was a common occupation for freed slaves at that point. As the story goes, when Chaguinha was taken to the gallows to be hanged, the rope broke not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row, and in response, the people looking on in the square yelled Liberdade, Liberdade, the Portuguese word for freedom. Despite the protest, Chaguinha was not spared and was flogged to death. In death, he became something of a popular saint and was buried in the nearby Capela dos Aflitos, or the Chapel of the Afflicted, a burial site for hanged, enslaved, and indigenous people. People began leaving candles where Chaguinha was executed until the place became a church named Santa Cruz das Almas dos Enforcados, or the Holy Cross of the Hanged Souls. From then on, the Capela dos Aflitos began to receive devotees asking for miracles, attaching pieces of paper to the chapel's door before knocking it 3 times, the amount of times that the rope broke during Chaguinha's execution. Liberdade was one of São Paulo's first black neighbourhoods, becoming home to many freedmen and women by the time. By the late 19th century, it also saw an influx of Portuguese and Italian immigrants. And when the wave of Japanese immigration began in Brazil at the beginning of the 20th century, many of those who arrived in São Paulo gathered in Liberdade, where rent was cheap. Over the years, the Japanese community thrived, and Liberdade became known more for its Japanese heritage than its black history. By the 1970s, the streets were decorated with Japanese-style lanterns, and many shop fronts are written in Japanese. It wasn't until 2018, when the nearby subway station and the neighbourhood's main square were renamed Japão Liberdade, that the historical dispute came to public attention once more. In a highly criticised move, the City Hall approved the name change following a renovation of the main square, sponsored by the owner of a massive cosmetics shop that looks onto the square. Several historians, black activists, and even members of the Japanese community were against the name change, claiming it was a historical erasure of the district's black heritage. Furthermore, having Japan in the neighbourhood's name also fails to acknowledge the vast Chinese and Korean communities that also live in Liberdade. That same year, 9 skeletons were found at the site of the Chapel of the Afflicted, where a commercial centre was set to be built. Since then, construction works have been halted. Activists and historians have been fighting to designate the chapel as a cultural heritage site, restoring the chapel and turning it into a São Paulo Black Memory Centre. In 2023, the neighbourhood's main square officially became the Liberdade África Japão Square. São Paulo has such a rich history that various narratives and heritages can share the same territory or sometimes dispute it. Despite the protagonism of Japanese identity in the neighbourhood during the last decades, there's no doubt that the black history of Liberdade is equally important to São Paulo, and that its diversity can only enrich what's already a very much beloved neighbourhood of Brazil's largest city. Did you enjoy watching this video? Let us know what you think in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and co-workers. And if you like our videos, you should consider supporting our work by subscribing to the Brazilian Report, choosing any plan for just $1 for the first month. As a subscription-based business, readers are very important for us. But if you're not thinking of subscribing to the Brazilian Report just yet, there is another way to support our work. Quality journalism takes a lot of hard work. And coffee, lots of coffee. And you can support us by donating a cup of coffee on our Buy Me a Coffee page. And you can even get exclusive content and perks by becoming a member of our Buy Me a Coffee community. Join now and get a special shout out on our Explaining Brazil podcast, a question answered by our newsroom about Brazil or Latin America every month, or even our special Brazilian culture newsletter available on our Brazilian Insider membership tier. For us, it's not just about coffee, so go to buymeacoffee.com/Brazilian Report and support our work. It's really important for us. Thank you. You can find links and references in the description of the video. See you in the next video.